What's up, guys? Today we are discussing what to look for at a pool when you are buying a new home. You will really want to take a look at the next few things to really make sure what condition the pool is in and if you're going to need to spend money on it soon after you purchase the home. Come take a look. So the first thing that you'll want to look at, and what I always look at when I walk into the backyard of a new customer's pool, is I go right by the skimmer here. Every pool has a skimmer where the basket is and collects all of the leaves and other debris. And I take a look at the concrete surrounding the skimmer. If you have a crack right near the skimmer, a lot of times that's going to be a symptom of a skimmer leak. At the bottom of each skimmer, there's two pipes. The front pipe usually goes to the main drain. The back pipe goes to your filtration system and into the front of your filter pump. And over time, that plastic will get brittle and crack right at the base of the skimmer. That will allow water to seep into the soil underneath the concrete. And in our region, we have a very expansive soil. So in the summertime, it dries out and shrinks. And then in the wintertime, it collects a lot of moisture and it swells. So that expansive and contraction over time will cause the concrete to crack like this. So you'll definitely want to pay attention to any crack around skimmer. Now, the next thing that I look at is I go directly to the main drain in the pool. Down at the bottom of the main drains, you could get a lot of information on how this pool chemistry has been kept and if it is rougher or more discolored than the rest of the pool surface. A lot of do-it-yourself homeowners choose to run the chlorine tablets that should be in a floater, right? They put them in their skimmer baskets. Well, what happens there is when the pump shuts off, those tablets continue to erode and the acid in the tablet is much heavier than water itself. So it travels down the front pipe to your main drains after the pump shuts off, and that acid sits around your main drain and consistently and constantly etches that pool surface, causing it to be very rough, causes the plaster to fail, and then it causes very ugly stains at the bottom of the pool. So you'll definitely know how that chemistry has been kept over time, so you'll know if that water in the pool is balanced or not. Now, the next area of the pool that I look at is the step areas or the lowest circulation area. This is where you're going to find the first signs of plaster failure. Normally, pool surfaces last anywhere between 18 to 25 years, depending on how well the chemistry has been kept throughout that pool surface's life. But you are going to start to see signs of plaster breaking on the corner of the steps here, or little about $half size chunks of plaster start coming off of the top of the step, and that is a sign that you are going to need a pool surface soon. Now, this customer had reached out to us for a plaster referral, so I am in the process of getting them teamed up with some of our partners, and this is a great sign if you're purchasing a home to look to know if you're going to need a new plaster interior surface in the coming years. You'll also want to take a look at the color of the surface. Now, this is a white plaster pool, and as you can see, it has some sort of brownish spots to it. Now, this isn't always permanent. This is a sign of metals in the water, particularly iron, from old water. So over the years, every summer you have to add water to your pool due to evaporation, and all of the extra metals, minerals, and solids that come into our source water or our tap water get added to the pool when you fill the pool up. But as it evaporates, the only thing that leaves is H2O. All of those metals, iron included, stay behind. And as those build up over the life of the pool, they can start saturating into the surface, causing these metal stains. Now, there are certain stain treatments that you can do, like a cobalt treatment, that a lot of times will pull those out and then they will get stuck in the filter. You can clean the filter out, but I know of a lot of pools that struggle with this, and that's why it is a great practice to drain about 2 to 3 feet of water out of your pool every spring and refill it with fresh water so you can try to mitigate this issue. And lastly, you'll want to come take a look at the equipment. You'll want to look and just see what it looks like, right? You'll want to know, is this equipment look newer? Does it look older? Do they have variable speed pumps, or do they have single speed pumps? Do they have a filter canister that is fairly newer, or does that filter canister look very crystallized, that it's been sitting in the sun for several of years. You'll want to take a look at the gas heater and make sure that, that looks fairly newer. These are all very expensive pieces of equipment and will definitely tell you fairly quickly if you're going to have to invest in new pool equipment after you purchase the home. These are things that I come across very often with people that purchase a home with a pool and have never owned a pool before, and they get quite the surprise when I show up and tell them that they need some new pool equipment or they need a new pool surface that they did not expect when purchasing the home. And that creates quite a lot of stress when it comes to taking care of the pool. When you have a swimming pool, the newest equipment out there is going to save you the most when it comes to energy and the daily use of the pool. So this pool has a variable speed pump that is very important. That is the heart of your pool, and that is the main thing that you want to see on a swimming pool when purchasing a home. Has a decent filter. It is, probably 15 years old, but it is not showing signs of crystallization. You will definitely see that if it's sparkly in the sun. Yeah, it has an automation system. You can see that it has an antenna right there that allows you to control it with your phone on an app. So these are all benefits that you should look for when purchasing a home with a pool. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us today and this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you're watching on Instagram, I would love it if you could follow us on Facebook as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the video, as that will help us grow our channel and our influence so we can help more people out there learn about pools. Have a great day.